Many places in our region face some incredibly difficult and hard problems. Some of them, around employment, some of them around alienation of young people, some of them around the fact that actually where they live just isn't very nice. There is a potential that the gap between rich and poor could grow more and more. Now that's just unjust, actually. The ethos behind FIC is in its name, faith in our community. There's a recognition that people of faith can make a difference, but also there's a recognition that we have faith in our community.
I've got to meet mums I wouldn't have met. Yeah, and it's nice just to come and have a cup of tea and a chat. Like kind of coming round to see your mum.
I love the atmosphere, a happy crowd. And I don't like crowds as a rule, but I like coming here.
Well, I can only get out if somebody comes for me. Can't go out on my own.
There are people out there who need an opening and who want to make a difference. You just have to find them and encourage them.
We started with the flowers. We started with sunflowers with the kids, and then we started with the planting of the flowers with the adults. I went to the town council and said, one of the things that's come out of this is actually people would like an allotment. And they said, actually, you'll never believe this, we've just flattened small allotments and they're vacant. Would you like a plot? We had over 60 odd people here on our launch day.
Ben goes to war.
You're putting us through my MVQ, so it helps us in the future to get a job. Yeah, it helps us working with other people as well, because I wasn't too confident about it before.
There's a lot more to deprivation than not having any money. Deprivation is about low self-esteem, it's about not having a sense of worth, it's about the stresses caused by family breakdown, it's about addressing how poverty affects you as a person.
Often the only facility in the area is the church hall. So it's a really important resource where the people can come together to do things. The church hall is an obvious place for them to come.
Sadly, she lost her husband last August, and she was, she needed to get out and out. And I said to her, why don't you come to the boat? And that's what's brought Margaret here, and she's found, I think, found it a great help.
Yeah. How many other places can you go to? Can't go very far on a night time because there's no buses. Cut all the buses off.
The activities themselves have started off small but have grown over the last 3 years. Top of the plan of action was people wanted a lunch club, be fit activities, they wanted craft work, and they wanted a history group.
Nothing's a trouble to anybody here, and we're all one happy family.
It's a big miss when it's closed.
Yes, we miss it. Our stomach's rumbling on a Wednesday morning.
Because when you live on your own, you don't see many people. It's nice to come anywhere like this.
I have managed as well to get a lot of volunteers. It allows them to have a role in the community, but it took almost 12 months to get volunteers in place and to have them trained up to use the kitchen, to work in the kitchen.
Nice people and friendly phrases.
A lot of these communities have had things done to them in the past. People come in with good ideas and projects, and they're in a way imposed on them. It's not what the local people asked for. That's a top-down model. We've developed a grassroots upwards model where we've asked the local people what they want and what they need, and then we're working with them to develop that. It's quite a different model. The learning programme was for 3 different groups of people. First of all, it was to train the community development workers. We were aiming for them all to get an NVQ3, which they succeeded in doing. The second aspect was to train up the management committees. They needed to learn all the skills a management committee needs. The third aspect of the training programme was for the church members in the wider community, and it was about to give them the confidence and a vision for how they could actually affect what happens in the community.
I joined with the intention of just being like a user of the group, but Margaret said, why don't you come and join the committee? So I've joined the committee. And I just never have a spare minute now.
They can be very long weekends. So you get your Friday and it boosts you up for the weekend, I think. Because I'd got to a stage where I was getting quite agoraphobic.
This is like a new lease of life for me.
It broadens your horizons, really.
They bring each other up and they encourage each other to go out, whereas they wouldn't go out on their own, they'll maybe go out in 2s and 3s. So they are getting out and about a lot more since coming to the group.
Doing projects that make a difference, you can't get them on the cheap. You can't change things on a shoestring, actually. You have to invest, you've got to invest. And particularly, you've got to invest in people.
What's needed is a long-term commitment to these areas and a commitment to fund a sustainable strategic plan over 10 years. That would be a good start. I mean, I saw some research about Tyne-Dock here, and I mean, they were saying that, you know, they were putting money into Tyne-Dock in the early 1900s. And I mean, Tyne-Dock's still an area which is suffering from multiple deprivation. So why has it not changed? Why is it not better? And I think probably a lot of the answer is because nobody asked the local people what they wanted and then worked with them to do it. Instead, people come in and do things to them and then they go away again.